Welcome to roster review number 2. In today's roster review is for PainkillerPL. He's from Poland and he has left me a few notes, which is what I want. Before I get to the notes, somebody in the comment section yesterday said, hey, to make this more beneficial, to more direct for the people asking for help, have them give you some information. Do they want to progress farther in squad arena, in the raids, in ships? Are they looking, mod help more so? That way it can become more individual with the person's roster I'm looking at, and I think it's a great idea, and constructive criticism, guys, helps me grow. So anything that you think I could do better, please let me know. Now, I have received more than 100 roster review requests. So please bear with me. It's going to take a while to get to all of you, but I will. And the frustrating thing right now is I'm trying to keep them in order the best I can, but let's say you were like one of the third people to ask for a roster review. I'm trying to keep you guys in line so you can be like the third person to get it, but if not, I apologize. You're eventually going to get a review, and the easiest way to do it, in my opinion, is to send the ally code. Ally code is easy for me. Some people said, well, why don't you just log into their account so you can see everything? I really don't feel comfortable with that, but that's something we can discuss later. So without further ado, let's get into Painkiller's team here. Now he says here, he left me these notes. Hi man, I would absolutely be delighted if you can review my roster in free time. I'm a big fan of your channel since the very beginning. Thank you. I've been playing GOH since 1 year and would classify myself as a Dolphin with around 2.25 million galactic power at the moment. I would love to hear from you about some new ships, priorities, and tips for clearing Heroic Sith Raid. My guild is very close. Greetings from Poland. Keep your great work, mate. Your channel is quite unique. Awesome. And then he says here also, I'd be more than happy to support your channel on Patreon. Now let's have a quick discussion about Patreon before I actually get into the roster review. Some person yesterday said, I want to support you on Patreon. I don't want to do the monthly payments. Can I just do a one-time payment? Unfortunately, right now, Patreon does not have the ability to just do a one-time payment fee. If they did, that would be amazing. If you want to support on Patreon, you go in, you support, it's the $10 tier for the roster review, and then you let the payment go through, and then you cancel it so it doesn't go through the next month. I might work on something different. I might let you guys know, hey, I'm going to do a live stream in blah, 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 so you can give a single donation during the live stream to see how that goes. I know I'm rambling on a lot here before the video. I just wanted to give you, update you guys on what's going on, because Patreon is not required, but it is absolutely greatly appreciated because it does help me out. Now, let's finally get to the basis of the video. So, what are some of the things that he has asked about? We're going to look at ships first because that was one of his top priorities, and then we're going to get through all of the characters. So I actually got to go back here for a second, and we're going to look at his ship's inventory, and he's number 4 in ships, so really, there's not much to complain about. He has the Houndstooth at 7 stars with a Gear 12 Bosk. He is set already right there. Let's look at his capital ships first, see what he has to work with there. Again, using blue stacks here, bear with me, I'm still learning how to do it. He has the Chimera and the Executrix at 7 stars, Thrawn and Tarkin, Gear 12. Very, very good. A lot of people have said, well, the Endurance Mace Windu's capital ship is a new meta. It's progressing in higher tier arenas, and I'm okay, maybe with Anakin's ship and some of the Republic ships. In most of the shards that I look at, it's still the Chimera and the Executrix as leaders. And then we have the Houndstooth. He has the Houndstooth, so he is set. He has the TIE Silencer. He is set at 7 stars with the Gear 12 Kylo Ren Unmasked. He has TIE Advanced 1 with a Gear 12 Darth Vader. He's set there. That's the team that I run, and I'm able to get first. He has the Phantom. He has the Ghost, which is already set for a good team right there. He has Biggs. He has TIE Fighter Pilot. He has Slave 1. Honestly, dude, your ships are fantastic for what the meta is right now. Now, what could the future meta be? You are like me. You have not farmed any Geonosians, which is fine. I didn't go after that. I didn't want to spend my resources on them, specifically for their arena character ability, not just fleet arena. And you don't have the Xanadu blood leveled up there either, which I don't know if it's going to become that important. But let's take a look at the other ships. I foresee 2 ship metas coming about. One, the one that somebody's talked about with the Mace Windu lead with some new Republic ships, because the Clone Wars new TV series is coming out soon. You also have Anakin's ship that came out. I could very much foresee a Republic meta that could be very dominant. So maybe you want to work on Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter a little bit. It would be great if he got a rework because he's one of my favorite Jedi ever. Maybe Rex's ship will get better. Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter. Just these old these, I guess, Republic ships I think would be good. If maybe they'll add some more Separatist ships and General Grievous with the Invisible Hand. But what is my money banking on for the long-term theory of ships? I've said this many times. I think it's going to be a Sith meta. We have the Sith Fighter, the B-28 Extinction Class Bomber. It might not be for a few months. Maybe the Republic will come first. But if you're wanting to think about the future of ships, think about Republic ships, because you know the Clone Wars rework is going to come in the new Clone Wars TV series, and then eventually probably a Sith meta as well. So that's where I would focus your energy on ships. Sith Fighter, B-28 Extinction Bomber when it comes out, and then choose your Republic ships. I know, let's see, do you have the Mbaran Starfighter? Maybe get that to 7 stars. It's a really good tank. But otherwise, you're sitting pretty darn solid in first. In ships, anytime you're able to get first, you should be happy. So now let's look at your inventory, and what do you say here? Heroic Sith Raid, you're able to get first in Arena. So let's just first look at the top few characters. And if you have all the legendary characters, you have Palpatine, awesome. You have Talzin better than me. Scion, Nihilus, Bosk, Chewie, awesome. Chewie at Gear 12. CLS, Grandmaster Yoda. I'm just doing a quick flyby of these characters here to see if you have a majority of them. The first two I'm going to look for is Revan and Traya. We're going to look for Traya first, see if you have Traya. You don't, but I'm guessing you just said you're very close. You're in a guild that's very close to completing the Heroic Sith Raid, so you'll be getting her or getting charge of her shortly. So I will take a look at that, and then we're going to look at your Jedi. And do you have Revan yet? No, you don't. Let's actually look at your Old Republic to see where they're farmed at here. Bastila, Jolie, Zalbar, Mission, T3. Make sure you get these Old Republic characters farmed all the way. T3, Mission, Zalbar, Jolie, the ones that are needed to get Jedi Knight Revan, because Jedi Knight Revan is dominant in all aspects of the game. So those are probably the characters I would still continue focusing on right now for just completing your arena grind, even though you can get first. The Old Republic characters, and then when the other ones become farmable, work on them too, because I have a feeling they're going to be needed for something as well. Some type of Old Republic legendary or heroic journey character. You can just look at the basics here. You have we're going to go and we're going to look at the Bounty Hunter. How's your Bounty Hunter squad? Solid. You have it well enough to get to get Chewie to 7 stars. Your Clone Troopers, not as important. They might be. Droids, let's see how this goes. Pretty good. BB-8. Let's see BB-8. Okay, I'm going to get to this for the Sith Raid here in a second. Some of these Zetas you should be putting on these guys. Your Empire characters, pretty solid. I'm not giving a complete breakdown of, he doesn't have this Empire or that Empire character, because if we're looking at something different for him. Your Ewoks, definitely if you have some extra energy or something you want to farm in the free time, C-3PO is a wonderful character, and he's only going to be used more and more and learned how to be used more and more, and he's going to be great in the Heroic Sith Raid as well. So definitely look at farming Ewoks in some of your free time, but if it's not a priority, don't worry about it. You have to prioritize in this game. Prioritize is the word I'm probably going to say most in all the videos I do on roster reviews. First Order, oh wow, very nice First Order team, way better than mine. You have a Zeta on Kylo Ren Unmasked, and this is great for Territory Wars and Grand Arena. Well done, very well done on that. Galactic Republic, this is quite a bit. Grandmaster Yoda, R2. We're going to talk about the rest of these characters in a little bit when it comes to the raids. Geonosians, do we really care unless you're using them for ships? Nope, I don't. Imperial Troopers, part of the Empire. We're just going to look at them here. Maybe you want to put a Zeta on Veers to improve. We looked at your Jedi, but I'll just run through it here quick again. Decent. Where's your Ezra? Ezra is well done. Night Sisters. I have a feeling you are a Night Sister maniac. You are ahead of the gang in this instance, and this is going to help you in the Sith Raid, which is something we're going to look at. Asajj, Mother Talzin, Old Daka, Night Sister Zombie. Let's see, where's Talia at? You maybe could level her up, get her up a little bit more, depending on what characters you want to use in that. If you use your Night Sisters in Tier 3 or Tier 4, Phase 3 or Phase 4, the Heroic Sith Raid. Let's see. Phoenix. Where's Phoenix? Very important faction. They're at 7 stars except for Sabine. You have enough to form one squad. Your Rebels. Commander Luke Skywalker, Chewie, Han, Biggs, Wedge. For a 2.28 galactic power, this is a very solid team. You got to realize with only this size of galactic power, you're going to have not a lot of characters that are maxed up all the way. He has the perfect characters in the game needed to progress, leveled up. He has done this right. He has farmed correctly. Let's look at his resistance. We're going to get to some of these characters. Oh, okay, Resistance Trooper. Please start farming Resistance Trooper. I'm going to talk about that when getting into the Heroic Sith Raid. But definitely some of you should look into. And then Scoundrels, we'll take a look at the Scoundrels, because maybe getting Jango Fett to 7-star. And then where is Kira? I would start leveling Kira up, and looks like you're working on getting Nest to 7-star. But Kira, her lead can be beneficial in so many ways. And we looked at your Sith. Decent. Maybe you want to get Sith Trooper up if you want to use a tank, but that's not what's important. You have for 2.28 galactic power, you have farmed every character correctly that you've needed to. Every major meta-defining character you have that helps you to get farther and farther in the game, you have with this galactic power. So now Revan and Traya are next. So your specific question was on the Heroic Sith Raid. So what teams do we want to look at for the Heroic Sith Raid? Well, we're going to start with the best Phase 1 team there is, and that's a Jedi Training Rey team, and we're going to start with the R2 Resistance Trooper Scavenger Rey combination. So let's go take a look at Resistance here. Let's see, did you say how many Zetas you had saved up? I do not see it here, which is okay. Oh, you don't have JTR yet. Okay, I gotta look at your vets. This is, sorry about that. Let's see where your vets are at here. Vet. Smug. Chewy. Oh, perfect. They're at 7 stars. So, you're going to want to use them, please. This is the first priority you should have right now, is unlocking Jedi Training Rey. Number 1 priority to help you in the raid is Jedi Training Rey. I see you have them at 7 stars, so you're going to be ready. You have the other characters that are important, Finn, Poe, Rey. Get Jedi Training Rey in your game is going to expand so much. So you're going to want to put a Zeta on Jedi Training Rey's leadership ability. That's the most important one for the raid. You know, if you have extras lying around, you can put him on the other two, but she's not an arena monster right now. I just don't find it necessary. Just my opinion. So Jedi Training Rey is going to help you guys, your guild, and you in the raid so much. So what do you want with a Jedi Training Rey team? Well, you're going to want the Leadership Zeta on Jedi Training Rey. You're going to want the Roll with the Punches Unique Zeta on BB-8. Very, very important. All of those assists. And then on R2, number crunch in the game is probably the most important, but because he's going to be spreading all of these stats. That's going to help do much more damage, obviously. But with combat analysis, this is the most important one to have for Phase 1 of the Heroic Sith Raid, because it's that passive cleanse. The combat analysis allows everybody to cleanse when they crit hit, and that's going to be able to keep the cooldowns decreasing and help you move so much farther and do so much more damage. So combat analysis is the first Zeta you should put on R2 if you're looking to use him just for the Sith Raid. If you can put one on both of them, that'd be great. But to really make the team work, you're going to need Jedi Training Rey's leadership, R2's combat analysis, and then BB-8's rolling with the punches. You have Rey and Scavenger Rey and Resistance Trooper. Really work on leveling those guys up, because they're going to be the damage dealers. And Resistance Trooper, he would probably be the person when you get Jedi Training Rey. If you're going to start farming somebody right now for the Heroic Sith Raid, start working on a Resistance Trooper. Get him leveled up. That will help you tremendously. And let's see, the other Jedi Training Rey team you can run. Yeah, you could take Scavenger Rey out and put in 3PO. Not a lot of people have 3PO right now. We're just going to go to Healer, because I'm looking for Visas Mar. You have her at 6 star. If you would rather not use R2, take R2 out. Put the Zeta on Return to the Light, which is Visas's Zeta unique ability, which allows her to help cleanse everybody else. You can throw her in there. Instead, she does massive damage against Nihilus as well. So if you want to use her and take out R2, or keep in R2 and take out one of the others, that's fine as well if you want to use Visas. But R2 is going to help you so much more throughout the game that I think I would do it that way. So Phase 1, right there. Jedi Training Rey team, that's who you should work on right now for the Heroic Sith Raid. Now let's take a look at a Phase 2 team. The best Phase 2 team is a Jedi team. Revan is the best lead for phase 2. Not a lot of people have Revan. That's fine. Who is the one character right now you should be working on big time to help unlock the maximum damage potential? Hermit Yoda. Get him to 7 stars. And you don't have to, but it's very much recommended to get his Zeta on Strength Flows Through the Force. So for phase 2, the one character I really think you should be working on is Hermit Yoda. Jolie, which you're going to get to 7 star, and you're going to put a Zeta on his. That looks pretty bad eventually anyway. He's going to help in there tremendously. I actually don't use Jolie. I use Revan, Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda, Bastila, and Ezra. There's a few different teams you can use, but you have a Bastila lead that you can use. A Bastila lead works fine too. You can get quite a bit of damage with Bastila, with Grandmaster Yoda. I use Ezra, General Kenobi, and Hermit Yoda. Maybe you want to put in Jolie for General Kenobi or for Ezra, but a Bastila lead team will do just fine as well. Some people would rather have a General Kenobi led team, which is fine. When I didn't have Revan, I preferred Bastila. So you're still able to do a lot of damage. Right now, if you were going to go into battle, you'd run Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, General Kenobi, Ezra, and then who would your 5th be here? You kind of have to choose a 5th because you really don't have one. Hermit Yoda is the best one. Jolie would be the 2nd best one probably. Just throw a different one in there. But the team you should be looking to get until you get Revan: Bastila lead, Grandmaster Yoda, Ezra, General Kenobi, Hermit Yoda. That's what I would go with right now. You can still do lots of damage, and you have a majority of those characters. I can't see how many shards you're away from getting Hermit Yoda to 7 star, but I'm guessing you're close. And that's something you can... The thing with Hermit Yoda is you don't have to take resources away from other aspects of the game to farm him. This is strictly through the Guild Event Store, so really work on getting him up there, and your Phase 2 team will be excellent. Now let's look at Phase 3. We're going to look at the best team available. Well, Night Sisters, and there's a few teams that can solo it now with C-3PO, and Night Sisters are unbelievable. I'm going to look at the Chex Mix team because it's a team that most people have the ability to have, and that is going to involve... You have Chewie at 7 star, actually, so let's run the Chewie Chex Mix team. Let's look at it that way. We're going to go to Rebels. You have a CLS lead. You have Chewie. You have Raid Han. Huge start. That's huge, okay? Perfect, right there. Now let's look at your POW. You have him at level 85. I don't care if he's at gear 5. As long as he gets his Sakala off to get offense up, that's a huge start. And maybe it looks like you probably use this team already in Phase 3. And then the last important piece of that puzzle is Death Trooper, which you have at 7 stars. What's his goal? To get Death Mark. That's all his goal is. He doesn't need to be doing damage. It's to get Death Mark for Han to go to town. So you have a Chex Mix team built and ready to go. I have a video on how to run Chex Mix in P3. I'll put it in a card above. Check that out if you need help with that. Now, let's check your Bounty Hunters, because Bounty Hunters can do decent damage in the Sith Raid as well. I saw this earlier, you don't have Embo at 7 star, because there are some Bounty Hunter teams that work well in all phases that have an Embo lead or an Aura lead. The Chex Mix team, some people run it with Greedo instead of Raid Han. Greedo can do more damage, yes, but it takes so much more time to get it right. If you do it with Chewie and with Raid Han, I find it so much easier to do it with Raid Han instead of Greedo. You have a Bosk lead, you have Boba, you really don't have a dominant Bounty Hunter team for Phase 3 yet, which is okay. That takes a while to build up. But you have a Chex Mix team, so you have, right there, get that Jedi Training Rey and the other characters for Phase 1. You have a team... Get closer, get Hermit Yoda to 7 star for Phase 2. You have a Chex Mix team, and then you have the Night Sisters for the Phase 4 killers. You have Asajj with both Zetas. You have Mother Talzin with both Zetas. And if you want to use Night Sisters in Phase 3, feel free to do so as well, because they can do massive damage there. You have Oldaka, you have Night Sister Zombie, Talia. Let's see, can't you run with his Night Sister Initiate? I am not a Night Sister expert at all. I don't run even Night Sisters in the Heroic Sith Raid. I use a bunch of different teams and still am able to get close to the top in the scores. But you have the 3 main most important characters in my opinion, so you're ready to use them in Phase 4, and there are plenty of good videos out there. Not by me. Skeltrix has some excellent videos on using Night Sisters in Phase 4, especially with the new zombie rework, so check his channel out for that. So really, where you're at in the Heroic Sith Raid, and this just isn't for you, you can use this for your whole guild. JTR Phase 1. Revan for Phase 2, or Bastila if you don't have Revan. Hermit Yoda is kind of that missing link. That checks mixed team for Phase 3. If you run a Bounty Hunter-led team, excuse me, if you have Aura at 7 stars, go ahead and do that. And then Night Sisters 4P4, then you throw the kitchen sink at it. Some Kylo Ren Unmasked teams with First Order, which you have. But the basics of, with my guild, we started off 4 months ago doing it, and we failed our first time. Then the second time, we got it done. And then on the 5th time, we're completing it in like 2 or 3 hours. And the phase that goes the quick, there's 2 phases that actually go the fastest. Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 2 probably goes the fastest, and Phase 1 can be tied or a little bit behind it at times. Because once you have a bunch of Jedi Training Reys going to town, it gets so easy. And then once you have a bunch of Revans, or even Basilis going to town, it gets so easy. So that's what I would focus on as your guild right now. And Chex Mix is a team that a lot of people can have because they're characters that have been used throughout the game, and slowly build them together to get there. So you said, let's take a look at ships. Let's take a look at a heroic Sith raid. Now I want to take a look at your mods. And since I'm not going to go over every mod you have on each character, I'm going to look at the mods on your arena team. If there are some of you that really are looking for a big time mod review, make sure you message me that and give me a certain number of characters to look at, because I don't, it won't have time to go through them all. Give me a certain number of characters. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to look at the arena team here. So let's look at your Palpatine. You have a potency and a health set. Actually, 2 health sets and a potency set. You have both Zetas on him, which is excellent. His speed is at 224. That's pretty good. His potency is at 92, which is going to add another, 35% or whatever. Some people say, well, that's too high still. In my opinion, you can never have enough potency. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. And then let's check his 6,285 physical damage. That's very good. So he's going to be dealing some massive physical damage. He's going to be able to give a bunch of status effects, and he has decent speed. Very impressive. 30 potency, 15 speed. Offense, 11 speed. 32 speed in the arrow for the secondaries. 19 speed in the secondary of the square. 11 speed in the secondary of the diamond. 14 speed in the secondary circle. Very well done. Very well modded with Palpatine here, sir. Now we'll go back and we will look at Scion. Some people have modded Scion differently. I modded him with actually a crit damage set for the longest time, but he's versatile. So you have him at, let's look at his health and protection. Pretty decent, but you have him at his speed at 276 without actually having a speed set on him. That's good. You have some good potency on him, which he's going to be gaining more of, so he can be able to make sure he lands those pains. His damage is very good. Wow, this is a well-modded Scion here. Let's look at 21 speed. Yep, I thought so. 20 speed. 13 speed. And you're running him with some offense. Nice. Some offense in that cross with 23 speed. And again, it's that speed that matters. Okay, you're putting a defense in the triangle with 21 speed. It's the speed that matters, guys. And 32 speed. Well done. You have him with speed. He's going to be debuffing. In a perfect world, you'd maybe want these 2 mods to match somehow to get 3 whole sets, but you have him modded very well. And again, the reason is it's that secondary speed. That's what it comes down to. So Scion is modded very, very well. Now we are going to look at Nihilus. Oh, you have a speed set on him and a health set. The only thing that matters for him, in my opinion, is speed. And you have 236 speed on him. Well done. You have a bunch of protection, a bunch of health. So he has a lot of health and protection. He's not here to do damage. He's here to increase cooldowns and then annihilate, because annihilate's going to knock you out no matter what. So speed is the biggest factor into that. Very well done. You have good speed. Again, the physical damage at 5,000. I mean, that's good, but it's all about dispels, guys. So very well done on the Nihilus. Let's see. You have his Lord of Hunger Zeta as well. Very well done. Now we will go back and look at Grand Admiral Thrawn. Still one of my favorite characters, and I think the most well-rounded character in the game. You have a speed set and a health set. Can't go wrong with that. And you have his Ebb and Flow Zeta. He has a speed of 266. That's decent. For what you're doing, you're using him to fracture, cleanse, give some turn meter to somebody else. And really, his job is to fracture. His biggest thing is speed. Is his damage that important? No. Is his potency important? No, you can't avoid fracture. So you have good speed on him, and you have some survivability. 14 speed, 17 speed, 9 speed, 15 speed, and 32 speed. You know, in a perfect world, you would want more speed on Thrawn, but since you're able to get first, we're not going to complain. 266, you could get him to 300. I mean, wow. But if he is one of the fastest in your arena, that's really all that matters right now anyway. So now we will take a look at Bastila Shan Fallen. I am not a Bastila Shan Fallen expert by any means, but a lot of people use her with their Palpatine or Traya-led teams. And you don't have Rosated, which is okay. I don't find that as important. A lot of people actually do have Rosated in my arena. Do you have a lot of potency on her? That's the biggest thing, speed and potency. Yes, you have 80% potency with the addition of Palpatine's bonus leadership. What is her speed, my friend? I'm stuck here, so I'm going to go out and get in again. Here we go. Speed is 234, pretty darn solid. Health protection, it's kind of weak, but you're not all the way at 7 stars. If she's doing her job of giving that corrupted battle meditation, spreading fear, getting stuns, giving shock, that's what's important. And she has some pretty good special offense damage. So yeah, pretty darn well modded team. So if you know how to mod your arena team, you're most likely going to know how to mod all the other teams as well. For a person with a let's see again exactly what the 2.286355 galactic power, you actually have an A+. Every character you need to have at this juncture in the game with the low galactic power that you have, you have. Once you get Revenant and Traya, actually I'm going to put it this way, you get an A. If you had Revenant and Traya, you'd get an A+, but you get an A because everything else is perfect. And with this galactic power, it's actually hard to find a guild that can do the Heroic Sith raid, but this is very well done. Absolutely excellent Painkiller. I really can't criticize much of this at all because with the amount of the time you've been playing the game, the characters you have are excellent and perfect. I told you where to go in the future and where I think ships are going to go. So I really enjoy helping you out. Give me some feedback. Message me back on Discord, Painkiller. Let me know. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? But otherwise, I very much enjoy doing this. Otherwise, I hope all of you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the subscribe button, like the video, click the notification bell so you can be alerted to all videos that I post. I'm going to leave a link to my Discord server and Patreon page in the description below. Please check both of those out, and if you want a roster review, make sure you go to Discord and direct message me. That's the best way for us to do it. Leave comments in the comment section. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Give me some constructive criticism. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, these are really long. Well, I'm doing this for the individual, and if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you don't have to. But they're going to be long because I want to make sure I give a thorough look through and good advice on what's going on. And then if you disagree with me in the comments, say, hey, I think you should do this instead, leave that down there because I respond to the comments and we can take a look and maybe think about something better. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Otherwise, peace out and may the force be with you.